There's a question that I've been thinking about for probably the past few weeks, and it's a question similar to one that you've probably heard before. And that question is, if a tree falls in a forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? And you've probably heard that before, and that's a pretty philosophical question and something you could probably debate all day long, if not more. But that's not what this video is about, and that's not my question. My question is, can you lose weight if you don't weigh yourself? Obviously, the answer is yes. You can lose weight if you don't weigh yourself. However, if you don't weigh yourself before and after weight loss, then you won't know how much weight you've lost. And in that case, can you be 100% sure that you have actually lost weight? I mean, the more your body changes, the more confident you can be that you have actually lost weight. But I still don't think you can be 100% sure. However, does that even matter? Why are we so fixated on the numbers and tracking everything? And I also can't help but wonder if all of this tracking that we're doing is actually making the problem worse. So why am I bringing this up, right? Well, anyone who's followed this channel for maybe the past year would know that I'm not currently weighing myself. And if you're new here, well, now you know. I haven't weighed myself for over a year now, and that is a complete departure from what I've done in the past. In the past, I weighed myself every single day. I weighed myself every day for, I think, about 3.5 years. And I created this huge poster board wall chart that I hung in my my basement gym. And every day, every morning, I weighed myself and marked my weight on the chart. The problem is that something wasn't working. I was able to lose weight, but I was not successful at keeping it off. And I've really spent the better part of the last 4 years trying to figure out how I lost so much weight that first year, but I have not been able to maintain it. So this time, I decided to do things a little differently. This time, I decided to stop feeding my mind all the numbers. The weigh-ins, the calorie counting, the step tracking, the workout tracking, all of it. And instead, I'm just focusing on 3 things: how I feel, how my clothes fit, and how my body moves. As far as how I feel, I remember the feeling of being lean, and I really want that feeling again. And I know the things that I need to do today that will move me in that direction, regardless of a number on a scale. I'm not setting a goal for weight loss or body fat percentage. I'm instead changing what I do today to move me in a direction. And that direction is to feel more lean. As far as my clothes fitting, I'm guessing that I'm not alone in this, but when you gain weight, you tend to want to hide your body more. And for me, I start wearing baggier clothing, more loose-fitting clothing. Basically, it hides your fat. If you wear more form-fitting clothing, it exposes your fat, to put it bluntly. And I remember the feeling of wearing more form-fitting clothing and not hiding my body. It's a great feeling. And like how I feel, I'm not setting any particular goal for a particular shirt size or pant size. I really just want to be able to wear clothing that I'm not hiding my body. And as far as how my body moves, I've started incorporating pull-ups and push-ups in particular into some of my daily workouts. And I like the idea of those body weight movements because, you know, as you lose fat and gain muscle, or at least maintain muscle, those movements should become easier. And I'm trying not to count the reps that I do. I can't really do that many in the first place, so there's not really much counting going on. But I'm really just trying to focus on how easy or difficult right now they are to do. And over time, they should become easier. And I'm not setting a particular goal for number of pull-ups or number of push-ups. Again, I'm trying not to count reps. I just want to be able to do them more easily, even effortlessly, if I can get to that point. And I know the things I need to do today that will move me in that direction. Now, the YouTuber in me doesn't really like this plan very much. The YouTuber in me wants those numbers, wants those before and after numbers using a scale for weight. Without those numbers, I won't be able to make a video titled, "I lost X number of pounds in 6 months," or whatever. So that's the big downside from a YouTube perspective, I guess. But in order to make this idea of not weighing myself any longer official, yesterday I performed a symbolic sacrifice, if you will. So I did it. I destroyed my scale. Now that probably wasn't the smartest idea to do that on my driveway, because the top of the scale was made out of glass, and when it shattered, the little pieces of glass went everywhere. Took me a while to clean it up, but I think I got it all cleaned up, so that's good. That scale, I bought that scale when I first started on YouTube, so I've had that scale for a little over 5 years. That's the scale I used for my very first weigh-in on YouTube. It's the scale that I took on our cruise, that no limits eating experiment that I did, which failed horribly. So yeah, I have a lot of history with that scale. But now that it's gone, I feel free. I feel liberated in a way. You know, now my weight loss is up to me. Now I'm just listening to my body taking clues from what it's trying to tell me about the foods I should be eating, and hunger, and when I should be eating. It's similar to an intuitive eating plan, but it's much more than that. I'm making other changes in my life at the same time, like quitting my 9-to-5 job last month. I'm now doing more of what makes me happy and less of what makes me unhappy. And it is kind of an experiment of sorts, but it feels so right. I'm curious what you all think about this, so let me know what you think in the comments. Some people have already posted comments on previous videos saying that they think I should go back to weighing myself, if not every day, then like maybe once a week. Some other people have also stated that they think I'm avoiding reality, that I'm not weighing myself in order to avoid admitting how much weight that I've gained back. And the only thing I can say to that is stay tuned. If I'm able to focus on the 3 things that I mentioned, and if I'm able to transform and feel better both mentally and physically, and then maintain it, well then that's all the proof that I need. But again, let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.